Everyone, it's 314 React here, and today we're just doing a quick video on how we can keep Unreal alive. I usually get comments on my Unreal videos saying how Unreal was always talked about back in the day, and how it's not so much talked about now, and how it's kind of sad, and how the franchise has kind of died. It's seen a little bit of revival lately, with Epic allowing the games to be fully released, Unreal and Unreal Tournament, with installers on OldUnreal, but the latest Unreal 4 project was cancelled a few years ago, and there hasn't really been any news of any new Unreal games since. So I just wanted to go over a few resources here that you can look at if you want to keep up with the community and keep the game alive. So this is from OldUnreal's Wiki, and they have a really cool index here of websites that you can go to. So of course you have Epic Games here, the original creators, and Digital Extremes, the co-developers of Unreal and Unreal Tournament. Now, neither of these sites really have much to do with Unreal Tournament anymore, but there is still some details on the Epic Games website here. It's called Unreal because it is, and they have some details here, links to Old Unreal, the new secret level episode, which is really good to see that come about. I really want to see more of that. A new TV show on Unreal would be amazing. And they go over the history of Unreal here, so there is still some love for Unreal over at Epic, which is good to see. And yeah, here it says Unreal Tournament Alpha was cancelled in December 2018, and Digital Extremes now primarily work on Warframe, where they sometimes put weapons from Unreal in that game, I believe, as DLC. And here we are, Leandri at beyondunreal.com, which is the Leandri archives, which has lots and lots of information about the games and is a really cool resource for learning about the content of the games, essential files, bonus packs, stuff like that. So it's a really cool wiki. Next up is the Unreal Wiki, which has details on all the games, weapons, characters, everything like that. Pretty much like the Leandri archives, but a bit more modernized. And then there's hypercoop.tk, which is a very old school looking website, but is still going. February 15th, 2025, new update. So this has some really cool downloads here, actually, including an Unreal beta pack. Okay, I'm gonna make a video on that. Oh my god, there's a rework of an unreleased PlayStation 1 port of Unreal with all new maps. This is an awesome website. These are the kind of websites that I remember in the early 2000s and the late 90s. Absolutely amazing. Really good to see this. I am definitely going to check these out. Keep an eye out for new videos on those. Then you have unrealsp.org, which is a community dedicated to supporting the single player adventures available for Unreal Gold. There's also an active forum there, downloads, articles, reviews, and a Discord server, so you can jump in and check that out. You can see here June 22, 2025, still being updated, and again has a really kind of old school feel to it. Really nice. And then we have a very familiar website for the channel, which is the Unreal HD Textures website, which of course I have checked out before. Some incredible work here. A lot of amazing people that have been working on updating the textures for Unreal and Unreal Tournament from their original resolution to phenomenal new resolutions, and it makes the games look absolutely incredible. So these are some very talented people that are keeping Unreal alive, and this is well worth checking out. They also have a link to the high resolution Unreal skins, which lead to higher res weapons and characters, which again is amazing, and you can download that at moddb, which of course is another great resource for Unreal Tournament mods. Absolutely amazing stuff. Another great resource. And then here we have zora.altavista.org, which is incredibly old school, and I believe so old that they're referencing the GameSpy master servers here way back in 2014. Now this has some single player content to it, I believe, 4 episodes. You can see screenshots of it here. There's another little gallery here. There's a server that you can play on, I believe. This is so old school. I think this is a little guide to running a server, actually. They've got lots and lots of cool mods and maps, tools, instructions. God, there's a lightsaber mod. This is something else I'm going to have to check out. This is awesome. I love this kind of stuff. It's just before the world of UI and UX. It's just straight up 90s passion project stuff. It's incredible. And then, of course, you have Old Unreal. Now, these guys, again, very talented. They've been working on the 469 patch, the 227 patch for Unreal Tournament and Unreal Gold, respectively. And they also have the full game installers for Unreal and Unreal Tournament from when Epic proved the download of the full games from archive.org. So you can pretty much just download the full games from here and get the patches for them and get up and running on modern hardware in minutes. It's so cool, and they have a great forum that's still active. They have a Discord as well, tutorials, walkthroughs, and again the wiki that we mentioned earlier. Absolutely incredible website. This is your go-to to get started with Unreal. in the modern day. Then we have the Unreal Archives, which is dedicated to keeping all of the content available for people to download, including single player mods and maps. Got some really cool stuff here, stuff I really want to check out. Again, Unreal PSX is on here, some more single player goodness. There's a rating system and some really cool looking maps there as well. And you can filter it down by single map, small campaigns, large campaigns, by rating, by release date. You can check out their mission statement there. Oh, that's cool. You get a little Unreal translator. So it's launched in February 2014. Primary goal of keeping all user-built single-player content for Unreal, Return to Null and Unreal Tournament consistently accessible and downloadable to everybody. So that's primarily, yes, single-player content, which is really good to see. And next up, we have the Unreal Archive, singular, not plural this time, which is a go-to resource for me where I go and find lots and lots of cool maps and mods. I mean, this is really, really cool and has a really great layout. So you can just drill down into whatever game you want. You can go straight in, mutators, maps, models, characters, and you can just download it. It's just an absolute goldmine of content for Unreal. And I don't believe it's mentioned on the wiki there because it's not dedicated to Unreal, but you can go to Mapraider and find lots and lots of maps for Unreal Tournament 2003, 2004, and Unreal 3. This is another great resource for picking up maps for the Unreal games. And then we come to another absolute classic of a website that I've been going to for decades at this point. It's the Enhanced OpenGL Renderer for Unreal Tournament, which is still up to date as of December 30th, 2024. Now these are some rock solid OpenGL and D3D9 renderers for Unreal Tournament. I think these are included in the patches nowadays from OldUnreal, but you can still pick them up here if you want to grab them yourself and get up to the latest versions. I have been using these for years. I think at least 20 years I've been using these, and they are incredible. They maintain compatibility with newer hardware, they introduce new features, and they keep the original artistic design of the game in place and allow for compatibility with higher res textures. And next we have hellkeeper.net, which has tutorials and maps to download. Plenty of unique maps here to pick up, as well as tutorials, I believe, on mapping. It's another really great website, really old school look to it, and last updated in 2024, so still very much up to date. And then we have a website here, which was a huge collection of tutorials and examples for Unreal Ed. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be up anymore. It just leads to a 404. Next up, we have the actual Beyond Unreal website. Of course, we looked at the Beyond Unreal wiki earlier, but this is the actual website. This is one I've been going to for, again, 20 plus years. Really cool website, really good to see it still up and running. It has loads of downloads, it has loads of hosted sites. It's got the wiki, of course, as mentioned. It's got all sorts of teams, reviews, skins, models, archives, and of course it has a forum. And if you go in there, you go to here, you can see that people are still posting on it very, very recently. And what you can do is go all the way back to the 1207th page of the Unreal forums and see posts going all the way back to 1999. So this forum has been going for over a quarter of a century and is still going, still updated. And I remember going on this forum in 2006 and reading through posts, and even then it was 7 years old, and that was nearly 20 years ago in itself. So amazing that this is still going, and also quite scary to think that I can remember that far back. And then we have Unreal Playground, which now leads to a different website, redirects to something called Altfire, which I don't believe is specifically related to Unreal anymore. So it looks like that domain was sold a while back. And of course, we have the Unreal SP Wiki, which is basically the wiki page, of course, of Unreal SP. So lots and lots of details on all of the single player projects that are available or the Unreal series. And it looks really amazing here to see all these icons of all the games all together. Very, very satisfying. And we're down to the fan websites here. Gatherstone, which again has a really old school feel to it. You've got maps, player skins, patches, edit tools, modern scripts, more maps, and some nice little pictures, screenshots. Look at that. That's the kind of stuff I love. Very, very old school, very, very cool. You see the maps they've made. Probably check some of these maps out at some point. Again, very old school feel. Just an earnest fan website of Unreal. And we've got Hook's Unreal Tournament Place, which is still going since 2001, and it looks like they get some server events up and going. Still plenty of community news and stuff going on, so it looks like you can go here and pick up games and go check out the forum as well. And again, still very much up to date. There's a nice little map website here which contains some homegrown maps for the various games. Again, just pure old school fan website. And there's an awful lot of maps on here as well, so plenty to check out, especially some Halloween related maps. Oh yes, if I've not downloaded these already, I'm gonna have to check these out because I love Unreal Tournament Halloween maps. The Scar Valley, which is a forum that still has posts on it from 2025, still going and still dedicated to Unreal Tournament. And there's even some multiplayer discussions here. Clan base, people can organize clans, which presumably means you can organize multiplayer games here as well. So again, helping to keep the game alive. And then you have 3 websites here: Red Rum Deathmatches, the Master NL, and Unreal for Fun. All 3 of those appear to be down for me now, unfortunately, but Newbie's Playground should still load, which is again a very old school style website which has downloads, clans, forum, galleries, and it looks like you can organize multiplayer matches here as well, so you can get into contact with people. Again, just another really cool website dedicated to Unreal and keeping the community going with a very, very old school look. And they also have a Discord as well, some Unreal master servers here, so you can connect up and get some multiplayer going. And that's it in terms of the list here. And then of course you've got r/Unreal Tournament on Reddit, which obviously has community highlights of new news for Unreal Tournament, and fans are still talking about it, and that has been going for over 15 years now, which is a really great place to go and check out. 18,000 members, and is a great way to just connect with people who still love the Unreal series. And as mentioned, there's ModDB, which is a really easy, accessible way to grab all sorts of mods and maps for these games, and people are always uploading stuff to there, so it's another great place to keep the game alive. And then of course you have mdang, aka James Horsley's Unreal Engine 1 RTX Remix render device, which I've looked at before, which allows RTX Remix to be enabled on the Unreal Engine 1 for Unreal Tournament, the new patches, Unreal, the new patches, Deus Ex, Nerf Arena, Rune, Harry Potter, another Harry Potter game, Brother Bear, and Star Trek Next Generation Klingon Honor Guard, which is really, really cool. This is being kept up to date. The last update was on the 24th of May 2025, so that's another really cool thing, keeping the game alive by updating it with modern technology like ray tracing. So of course this is by far not an exhaustive list of resources and community pages that you can visit to keep Unreal alive, so if you know any more, drop them in the comments. I'll try and link all these in the description, and hopefully this gives people a way to access these communities and download new mods and maps for Unreal, and find people they can connect with to talk about Unreal, and we can just keep the game alive, because it's still got tons of life left in it, even though there's nothing being actively developed. I would love nothing more than to see an Unreal TV show based on how good the Secret Level episode was, and I'd love to see a brand new game come out on Unreal Engine 5. It would be absolutely incredible. Still good to see people enjoying the Unreal series all these years later, and I really hope it continues on. That's all for today's video. That was just a quick go through of some of the community websites and stuff that I know about. Really enjoy seeing people engaging with these videos on Unreal. It's really good to see how people are still very passionate about it. So subscribe for more videos in the future. Leave a like, hit the little bell, really helps. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.